I like to part my hair down the middle when I do my hot oil treatment because that's just the first way I ever learned to do it. And I just felt like if it wasn't broke, I didn't need to fix it. It is a whole ruckus happening outside. Like, what is going on? Okay, wrapping things up. So this is all finished. Welcome back, friends. And if you're new here, just welcome. It is Lauren the Soap Witch, and it is time for another wash day. So I am getting ready to start with my hot oil treatment. But before I get ahead of myself, let me just show you the whole food what I'm working with. That didn't really sound quite like proper English, but you know what I meant. I'm always assuming y'all knew what I meant. But you did. Anyway, so let me take this down. This is for my refresh, day 5 refresh. And I don't know, I just felt like playing around with something different. I really don't understand why parting is such a when I say parting, I mean parting my hair is such an incredibly impossible feat for me. Like, I'll part it, look at it in the mirror, but like, that looks decent. Look at the finished product, but like, that is hideous. What happened? Like, I don't know. I'm still trying to figure it out for myself. I can't say that I've been consistent in trying it out. I can't. But so originally when I did my refresh, the twists were hanging down like this and not pinned back here with the bobby pins. But like, I had slept with them, like my hair kind of tied. And then when I took it off, they were being goofy looking and bent and stupid. And I was like, nobody got time, so I just pinned them to the back. They feel surprisingly soft considering I didn't put a ton of gel on them, but I put gel on them. And I don't think I put anything else on there but the gel. No. Because when I did my refresh, can I get this twist out? I rinsed, did my usual saturating the hair. I used my leave-in as a rinse out, but then I didn't leave any in my hair. I did not use a leave-in because I knew that for most of it, like all this back here, I just use a foam. And I don't put any products on my hair when I use foam. It's one of the only times. When I've been doing gel, usually slick backs, if you want to call it that. Like when I put it in a puff and I slick this down, I don't put any product on that either. Because I'm just wanting to let the gel do its thing. And the gel is made predominantly of aloe vera juice, so it's not drying, so I'm not worried about my hair getting dried out either. Even though I'm not gonna wear no twist out type deal or anything, I still try to be gentle and careful when I take these twists down because I don't want to rip at my hair. I have found that being gentle with it, especially when it's dry, is super important. Because one, you're just gonna have to have a gentle hand, a loving hand with your hair. I sound like I'm being melodramatic, but I'm kind of serious though. Like, you want to take your time with your hair, not rush through it. Like, this, doing my hair is absolutely an act of self-care. And when I started seeing it as that, I stopped seeing it as some chore that I just wanted to rush through and get through. I'm feeling like a flat twist out is coming soon in my life. But my favorite hairstyle I feel like I've ever done was when I did that flat twist out with the roller rod set at the bottom. I'll put a video there so you can check it out if you want. But oh my god, I've been wanting to do that again. I feel like it turned out so pretty. Okay, now that I've gotten that all taken down, my hair feels really soft. Even this part back here is pretty soft. It's drier, you can tell, than this hair. But it's getting better. So I like to part my hair down the middle when I do my hot oil treatment because that's just the first way I ever learned to do it. And I just felt like if it wasn't broke, I didn't need to fix it. And that's my philosophy about a lot of things. If it ain't broke, no need to fix it. I'm gonna wet this a little bit because it's a little more tangled since it was just, out for. Why does it never whisper? Okay, out freely doing its own thing. Just make it a little easier to part so I'm not yanking at it, tearing at my hair. We don't want to do that. I want to be gentle. These are gentle hands. Like I'm a toddler. Okay. That's what I've been hearing folks say to their toddlers, like, especially if they have younger siblings, they rough-handed. with animals, little smaller siblings or cousins or whatever. They just grabby. I wonder if my clip is going to clip for me today, because sometimes she be trying to make a fool out of me. Okay, well, that's good enough. So then what I like to do after I get that one side up is I'm going to split this in half. This is the part where I usually start humming and hawing, but we're not doing it today. Okay. Is that too much hair? It's fine. It's fine. Whatever we got is what we're going with. Okay, so I'm going to put this up, and then I'm going to start with this section right here. So I'm going to saturate. No, I'm going to just dampen it a little bit, not saturate it. When I saturate my hair, I'm going to like wash it or refresh it. I just want to give it a little bit of moisture, teeny bit, a little bit. And I like to take my hands and just rub it in to the hair. This actually does start the detangling process for me. I mean, it is a pre-poo. In essence, I'm just using oil instead of a conditioner. So like people use a leave-in. Some people use different aloe vera oil, I think. No, not oil. Oh my God, I'm putting words together. It don't make no sense. Aloe vera. Just aloe vera. Like the gel, but from the plant. Not like my kind of gel that she used for styling hair. And then they use, there was something else. Another gel. Flaxseed gel. That's getting off topic. It's a pre-poo. I'm using Acute anointing. I open this applicator tip. Been a few times I forgot to do that. That's embarrassing. Okay, and so then I'm just gonna dump some directly onto my scalp. This is just a blend of oils that I happen to be a fan of. And I get it on my scalp, and then I take my fingers and I just want to rub that in. Show my scalp some love. This is not a hair growth oil. This is not a hair growth oil. I just like to specify that up front. Don't want folks thinking that. I don't really make products that I would consider to be hair growth products, because I feel like that's falling dangerously into the medicinal claims, and we're not doing that over here. I'm just going to drag this down the hair. I feel like a lot of the benefits of that hair growth type products, especially the oils, come from you applying it to your scalp and doing this whole massaging, which helps with the circulation, which promotes hair growth. And so you can massage yourself. Girl, what did you? Okay. You can massage your scalp with oil, or when you're washing your hair, whenever you feel like it. I mean, it's yours. You do what you want. So this is just me taking that oil and dragging it down the hair. And then I'm going to add some more into my palm here. And I like to prayer hands it just like this. Want to definitely make sure we're paying close attention to the ends. That's going to be pretty much it for this section. Now that I like how much I have my hair coated, I like to put this section into a Bantu knot. It just gets it out the way easier. This is not by any means a necessary step. I just think it gets my hair out of the way better, easier, and it fits under the caps better when I go to put all that junk on my head at the end. Okay. So, and then the final little bit that I like to do on the sections in the front, I put a tiny bit of oil on my finger, and then I just rub it at my hairline, because my hairline likes to do disappearing acts, which I don't appreciate. And this makes it less likely to do so. It used to be like really pale, whitish looking, crusty, not quite scabby, but in that family, wasn't a good look. And this really does help prevent that from me. So yeah, that's what we're doing. Anywho, so that is what I'm going to do on all of these sections. I'm going to get 2 in the front and 2 in the back. And then once I get it all up, I will come back and wrap up this hot oil treatment. Okay, so I got it all together. Now I'm going to put my stuff on. First I'm going to put on my plastic disposable shower cap. If you could just get on there. Okay. Then I'm going to put the bonnet on. And a big giant scarf. Now that we got all that ordeal together. So the reason that I like to do this is because, aside from it's the first way I ever learned to do it, is one, I don't want to get oil all over my bedding and clothes. And then also I just feel like, with that body heat increase we get, it's just nice, insulate that a little extra and help it do its thing a little better. So anyway, that's my reason I'm sticking to it. So now that I'm done with this, I'm going to sleep at the end, and I'm going to come back in the morning to wash and style. Okay, see you in the morning. Bye-bye. Morning. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and take all this stuff off. Okay, to take these down, I twist in the opposite direction. It is time to go ahead and wash this hair and all that good stuff. Why did it do all this? Why did I sleep that hard? That's irrelevant. I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hair and tell you all about it in the voiceover. Okay.
All right, so it is time to wash this hair. So as always, I'm going to start out by thoroughly saturating all of my strands. And of course I do this because my hair just needs the moisture. I mean, all of our hair needs moisture. But also it helps to start to rinse out some of this oil from the hot oil treatment. And also I like to apply my products to sopping wet hair when I'm washing and conditioning and all that, because the products slide along my hair better, lather better, everything better. And so I just like to apply them to sopping wet hair. I get great results while using less product. Speaking of, this is Whipped Wonder, my whipped shampoo. I always sing its praises. That's how little I'm using. I'm gonna say how much because it's such a small amount for my whole entire head. So I'm starting on my first wash, and I just like to start by spreading it all around my head. And then once I feel like I've got it spread out nicely, I take my fingertips, not my fingernails, and I start to help create that lather, scrub at my scalp and the top of my hair. And the reason, I don't know if there's more than one, but whatever, no need to get distracted. I leave out my mids and ends when I do this, for the most part, is because that hair is older, more fragile, more prone to breakage, so I don't want to be as rough with it. And I find that it just doesn't need as aggressive scrubbing as my scalp and the top of my hair do. And so to get the rest of that hair clean, I just take that delectable suds that I just created and I take it and drag it all down the rest of my hair. I do find that this does get the rest of my hair clean enough, and I do also feel like it's aided me in length retention, if that matters to you. So I like to thoroughly rinse my hair after I shampoo. I use my hands to squeeze out some of the product, and I just feel like it helps move the process along faster because I'm impatient. Okay, so then I go in with my second wash with that literal tiny amount of shampoo, and I do the same process. I'm just going to take that delectable stuff and just rub it all over my hair until I'm satisfied with the amount of suds that I've started to generate. And then I'm just scrubbing away the same as I did in the first wash, scrubbing at my scalp with my fingertips, making sure that I go in a downward motion whenever I drag the suds down to try to avoid tangles. And then once I'm done, I just take all of that delectable suds and drag it down my hair, get lost in it, feed my inner child. All of it benefits me, so let's just go with it. So anyway, when I'm done getting lost in the suds, I go ahead and rinse that out again, and I still use my hands to help squeeze some of that out. And once I'm done with that, it is time to move on to deep conditioning, which I also do on sopping wet hair. So I'm using Tempting Tonic Deep Conditioner. Look at how thick she is. Delectable, wonderful. Yes. So I split my hair in half-ish, and then I use the amount that I showed you on that whole half of my head. I like to saturate my hair, make sure it's as wet as possible before I add the deep conditioner to my hair. Again, I just feel like it slides along my hair better, incorporates better, and it goes further when I add it to sopping wet hair. And so I just make sure I massage it in nicely. Do a little bit of finger combing just as a preliminary before I start my actual detangling. It really has tons of slip because that's how I need it. So I'm using my Acute anointing hair oil on top of it. Sometimes I forget halfway through. I like to add it though because I do feel like it adds some softness to my hair after the deep conditioning. During the deep conditioning, whatever. So that's the brush that I made a great theatrical showing of presenting to you. And it is the best detangling tool I feel like I've ever used, including any other combs and even finger detangling, just my experience. And so I start at the bottom of my hair and then I work my way up. And I like to follow up with finger combing, brush, finger comb, brush, finger comb, because I just feel like it's the best of both worlds. Clumping my hair together, helping to find all the tangles, focusing my brushing on where I need it to be. It takes such little time to detangle my hair. It's not even funny. It's kind of like magic. I'm just saying. But I like to kind of go through the theatrics, if you will, again, of showing just how I detangle and how little time it takes. I actually don't cut, the detangling, this whole half of my hair at all, because this is just how long it really takes me or doesn't take me to detangle. And detangling used to be an absolute debacle. Like, I spent so much time detangling my hair. I'm very tender headed. My hair gets very tangly. I have broken my share of brushes and combs trying to detangle my hair, and I don't experience that anymore. And it makes me not hate doing my hair. I actually enjoy the process and the feel of brushing through my hair and doing this wonderful detangling and just nurturing. It's nice. I've become a fan. So I getting around to the back, again applying the same process, making sure I get that kitchen. Sometimes I really just like to gratuitously play in it because I just like the feel of my hair in my hands as well. I don't know, it's something about that type 4, oh my god, type 4 coily goodness. I'm trying to mix up too many words and then my brain and my mouth start arguing and I'm stuck in the middle. Anyway, getting along with it, I really think that a nice detangled, moisturized, and deep conditioned head of hair really is the start of a great hairstyle, pretty much any hairstyle. So I just like to braid it up once I'm done so I can just get it out the way. Any excess product that came off in my hands, I just rub it back on top of the hair, and we're going to do the other side. Done. Look at that, magical. So that's how much hair I didn't lose during the process. Very, very little. And I'm going to put on my plastic shower cap. I've just started doing this because me being high porosity, I don't really need to sit under a hooded dryer, so I don't. And the shower cap sort of gives me that greenhouse effect sort of thing where it helps my body heat just do, the job of the deep conditioning, and it works for me. If you're other porosity than high, sitting under the dryer could be nice or even necessary. So after I sat with that in my hair for probably 20 minutes, you at least want to leave it in your hair long enough to finish, whatever you do in the shower, brushing your teeth, washing your body, whatever, at minimum. But I like to leave it in for 20 minutes. And I'm just going to rinse out that half of my hair. And then I'm going to add my leave-in products, again, on sopping wet hair. I like to add my leave-in products and even my styling products when I'm doing a wash and go on sopping wet hair because I'm high porosity and I am trying to keep as much moisture, layer as much moisture as I possibly can, and I feel like this just works for me. So that's my Mysterious Magnificence aloe vera spray, and I just like to add it in my hair on before I apply any other leave-in products. And then that's Sorcery, my leave-in conditioner. It's absolutely wonderful for high porosity hair, probably even medium porosity hair, not low porosity at all. It just sat on top of my son's hair. We didn't know why for years until we figured out that he was low porosity. Anyway, so now that I've added all of my leave-in products, I just want to take that hair and put it up to help retain as much moisture as possible while I work on that other side. And I'm really just doing the exact same thing on that side, rinsing out the deep conditioner, adding my aloe vera moisturizing spray. I like to finger comb my hair until I see a little bit of that foaming action, adding the leave-in conditioner on top and putting that hair up. So we're all done. It is time for styling.
Alrighty. Now it's time to style this hair. So today I decided I wanted to do a 2 gel wash and go. I like to do mine with a leave-in though, just for added moisture because we've already discussed how I feel about that as a high porosity girl. All the moisture, please. So the way I will always remember, first of all, if I get ahead of myself, because I will. I'm gonna fix my part. It doesn't look horrible, but not really that great either. Like what? Girl, what be happening? It still looks horrible, I feel like. But you know, what am I trying? I don't know what I just be doing wrong. I feel like I do a better job when I just do it with my hands. This hair is going back up. Okay, so now I'm gonna split this in half. I'm never satisfied with the half. It's like, girl, what are you doing? I'm gonna do that. So my hair still looks quite sopping wet. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start adding my products. So I'm gonna start with my Enchanted Concoction, Aloe Vera, Curl Custard. And I'm just gonna see what I feel like putting on there. I'm gonna start with that. I always end up using more custard than gel because it's a lighter hold. So we're just gonna rake and press that in there. You know how I like to do. I just feel like it really helps me work the product into my hair. There's a really loud plane overhead. I hope you can't hear it. Did you go on? I'm trying to do my hair here. So that looks pretty good. I think I might put a little more. Whenever I apply the gel or the custard, I always rub it between my hands first. The whole emulsifying it deal that we've talked about before. In my eyes, I definitely feel like, I don't know if it warms it up, but it also helps me to make sure that I'm distributing it evenly along my strands. All I'm saying is the first time and only time that I applied the gel without rubbing it between my hands, I don't know why, but my hair didn't look good. And when I look back at the videos, the only thing different was I didn't rub it in between my hands. I was like, that's odd. Okay, now going in with Slick Sorcery Aloe Vera Gel. I'm going to start without much rubbing it in between my hands. It is a whole ruckus happening outside. Like, what is going on? Sirens and things. Okay, I'm concerned. Anyway, raking and pressing, making sure I got that product fully incorporated, making sure I don't forget my ends. They're very important. And I think I'm going to leave it at that. So I like to take a clip and just clip this hair out of the way so I don't restyle the hair I've already styled. A lot of the times I will add a little extra water up here at this top, super high porosity hair. And also, if I feel like my gel isn't quite performing the way I would like or usually does, I will add, after I apply the gel, just drop everything. After I apply the gel, I will add some water on top of it and work it in. It usually helps. Okay, so that's where I'm starting with for this section. I often put a little bit more on this top front area than I do on the back because the way that the high porosityness of it, sometimes it's just like uber defiant, and that's cool. I'm really just trying to make sure it's as moisturized as possible. You know what I'm saying? I'll put the moisture there. It won't stay though. You high porosity, you understand. But I really like to layer products anyway. Hence why I still do this, the two gels with a leave-in. A lot of people don't. They'll just go ahead and apply the two gels, which I've done that before, and I thought it looked fine. But I just like it better with a leave-in. Okay, so I think that's good. You know, going in with this gel. Do I know if I'm putting too much? I always feel like I could be putting too much of any product at any given time. Then my whole life of, am I putting too much product in my hair? Probably. I probably am. Definitely pressing up here, a little less raking up here. I feel like, I don't know. I feel like it just works better with the really high porosity fuzz up there. So that's looking good. I did not spray any water on the hair in the back, but a little bit up here. All right, so that's how I did both the front and the back, because the front is a little bit more labor intensive than the back. So I like to, before I move to the other side, I take this clip that's been recycling and slide this hair over like this. So once again, I'm not restyling hair that I've already styled. I'm gonna finish this side, come back and show you the full wet results, hopefully without all the clips in there. If you know, you know. And then we'll go from there. Okay. So let me just give you this 360 real quick. So this is the full wet results. They look good. They look fine. Okay. So I've been liking sitting under the hooded dryer because I'm lazy and I can just sit there and sit a ball of, with the diffuser. Have I mentioned that I'm a lazy natural? So I've been sitting under there for like 20 minutes and then blasting my hair with like my roots, specifically with the diffuser attachment on the Time Air Hype for like maybe 10 or 15, just until my roots are dry, however long that takes. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna dry my hair. I do have another way that I was drying my hair, which was to just diffuse it completely. And I'll put a video there so you can see how I used to do that if you are a person who would rather diffuse. With all that being said, I'm gonna go and do that and come back. I just wanted to come back real quick and show you what it looks like. Dried but not stretched. It's mostly dry, 90%. It's dry for me to proceed on. Okay. So I'm going to stretch my hair. I have not been lifting my roots recently, so I'm just going to stretch it, see how I like it. I'm sure I'll like it. There'll be a video here where you can see how I usually do that and lift my roots if you want to see how I used to do that. So I'm going to do that and then I'll be fully done and we can wrap this up. Okay, wrapping things up. So this is all finished, stretched and all that. Let me give you the last 360. So yeah, I think it's a good look. I liked it from the first time I ever tried it, so I already had high hopes it was gonna turn out well. I'm happy with how it turned out. Let me know what you think in the comments. And y'all know I always gotta add my final touch because I've just become a fan. So yeah, we're gonna do that. Yes. Let's talk about the products that I used today when I washed my hair. So I started off with, I don't know what I did. Okay. Started off with a hot oil treatment last night with Acute anointing. Washed my hair with Whipped Wonder. And then I deep conditioned with Tempting Tonic. And then I used my Sorcery leave-in. And that leave-in is good for high porosity and medium porosity, not recommended for low porosity. I have another for low porosity, like miscellaneous mischief or something. I let my son name it because it's his conditioner. He was the inspiration. And then I followed up with Enchanted Concoction, Custard, and Sleek Sorcery Stronghold Gel. And all of those products were in Tropical Fantasy fragrance because that is my new favorite, my current favorite. It smells so good. If you like tropical scented pineapple leaf fragrances, it is delicious. It is wonderful. It's amazing. I'm tooting its horn because it deserves all the tooting. Okay. So anyway, I do also offer other fragrances in case for some reason Tropical Fantasy stuff is not your forte. That's fine. I won't judge you. More for me. Anyway, so I offer an apple aroma, a lavender, peppermint, spearmint, eucalyptus, a lemon pound cake, a strawberry patchouli. And then I also offer unscented because I know fragrances just don't agree with everybody. Okay. So I also offer everything in unscented as well. There is a link below for every product that I use today in case you want to check any of the products out. And I also offer a hair journal if you are wanting to take your hair care journey to the next level or even to start one. So that's linked below as well. Oh, and what y'all think about today's lip gloss? It's purpley. It's called Pucker Up Purple. This is where we had today. I mean, I got purple shirt on. I felt like purple gloss. Anyway, so there's a link below if you're interested in checking out the gloss. I have a whole bunch of different colors, but there's too many to list, unlike the hair products. So you can check those out though on the site if you're interested in getting your gloss on, your glitter on, your shine on. So anyway, we're the earrings. I am going to start experimenting again. I have taken a hiatus. Look, winter is not my time. Like, I struggle real bad. This is so off topic, but I struggle real bad. I'm pretty sure I got that sad disorder or whatever. And it is like everything I can do to get out of bed in the morning, and not an exaggeration either. Like, it's just something is just like, I feel heavy. So it's real hard for me to create during the winter time, but I still try to push myself to do it. I've gotten better. This is off topic. I promise I'm gonna stop rambling in a second. But I've gotten better. And so like I had started experimenting, but then I stopped. But anyway, I really like these feather earring shapes, so I definitely want to try more of those. Those might be my favorite of the new ones that I've bought. But yeah, so with the resin earrings, I do make resin earrings. I do make resin products. And 3 years ago, I was like a whole pro at it. At least I felt like I was, because I just did it all the time. And then life had happened, and then I just completely stopped doing it. But I had a bunch of earrings still left over because I made so many. So they're on the site too if you want to see some of the ones that I still have. There's a link below. I am going to eventually make some more for sale. But I just wanted to practice since I was 3 years out of practice. I just want to be putting up some mediocre crap on the site and be putting my name on it, because I don't, y'all already know. If you don't know, you know now. So that pretty much wraps this one up. If you made it all the way to the end, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you hanging out. And if you like what you saw, please consider subscribing to my channel and clicking the notification bell so you don't miss any of my future uploads. All right. So with that being said, I will see you in the next one, friends. Bye.